So there is one thing that I've been thinking about, and I think it is one of the major things that we struggle with as people. And for women, it's a bit better, but for men, it's quite a problem. And that is with asking for help. I quite remember as a kid, being a young boy growing up. Whenever something happened and you are in pain and you're crying, especially where I grew up, and at least in my household or in my neighborhood, if you're a boy and something happens to you and you're crying, what you hear is, stop crying, be a man, or be a boy, be tough. And it's something that resonated with me as a young kid growing up, because it seemed as though as men, we're trained to endure pain. We're trained to withstand pain and agony. And so if you grew up like that, at least for me, I have learned to really be tough and hold on to my pain or my struggles, because I thought, I was just being a man and looking out for my own self as opposed to asking for help. It becomes very difficult because it doesn't really allow us to be vulnerable. At least for me, it doesn't allow me to be vulnerable because I have been trained to be tough and not really ask for help when I need it. So growing up, I struggled through that because, who is going to listen to me? Who can I be vulnerable to? Who can I show my weakness to? It was a struggle because I thought asking for help would be seen or would demonstrate weakness. So I really kept to myself and never really asked for help. And, kind of kept through my struggle. However, over the years, I've learned that there is high essence and importance in asking for help, at least as people, especially as men, because we go through a lot as men. Mental health is really a challenge for a lot of men because rather than speaking up or rather than asking for help, we tend to just hold on to it and tough it up and deal with it on our own. And I kind of realized at some point it wasn't a great idea. I've reached out to so many different people, advisors, counselors. This is back in school where, the counseling center became my haven, where I would go in and be vulnerable and share my pain and share my hurt with the counselor or my therapist, so to speak. And even better, it happens to be a Black man, a man that would really understand my pain and understand what it takes to really voice out and what it takes to really be vulnerable and to express what you're dealing with, as opposed to sitting on it and getting hurt through the process. So over the years, I think I have come a long way when it comes to asking for help and when it comes to really being vulnerable. And I just realized that I cannot solve the same problem with the same brain that caused it, because the most dangerous thing is really trying to figure out something that you caused yourself or something that happened. And if you were to figure it out, you would have figured it out by now. And that's what I started telling myself, right? So I started being vulnerable and being softened up, so to speak, to really go in to get the help and appropriate help that I need. And I would encourage anyone out there to be the same. And I want to assure you that you cannot solve problems with the same brain that caused it. Essentially, vulnerability is strength. So go out there and get the help that you need, and you're going to be strong and better.